What's going on, guys? Richie here. In today's video, I'm very excited to show you guys my wife's brand new car. So some of you all may already be able to tell from the interior or from Instagram, but if you haven't already, here it is. Alright guys, so as you can see, I bought my wife a 6th generation Camaro SS. We are super excited to be able to have both a Camaro and a Mustang, and then also be able to provide that content to you guys on the channel. I know I don't upload a lot. I've just been super busy, and I always say, man, I'm gonna do it, but now that I have both these cars, it's like really motivating me to be able to have so much different things I can do with the channel, and the fact that we do own both of these vehicles. So some of you all may be wondering, wow, like, I can't believe you went back to the 6th gen Camaro. So I love Camaros. I mean, I do. If I had to brand myself, I would say I'm more of a Chevy guy, even though I do own a 2018 Mustang GT. But, you know, I love driving this car. It's so smooth. I mean, I have MagneRide on my Mustang, but this car's MagneRide, I don't know, maybe it's because it's an automatic. I have no idea. This car just rides so smooth, and I love it, and this thing gets amazing miles per gallon. So I'll get into it a little bit about how we purchased this car and stuff, but basically we drove this car 9 hours home from where we went to buy this car, and we got 29.1 miles per gallon. 29 miles per gallon out of this car, and I was like super stoked. But anyways, so my wife, we had the fit in. You all never really got to see it. I'll try to add a short clip right here of what it was. All right, so as you all seen, it was cammed, full bolts on, loud as hell, blacked out. It looked really good for a fit in, but my wife just didn't like it. I don't know why she didn't like it. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed driving it. Now, it is night and day difference. It is a total different vehicle than the 6th gen. You know, some people are like, oh, you know, they're not that different, they're not that different. It's because either one of those guys haven't driven one or the other. When you've owned both, like me, this is my 2nd 6th gen Camaro. For those of you who don't know, I used to have a 2017 just like this one, 1SS, but it was Nightfall Gray, but it was as stock could get, or base, I should say. It was base. Like, this car is a 1SS, but it also has NPP exhaust and MagneRide, unlike the 1SS I had before, which was as basic could get. I mean, it had like nothing on it. But this car does have a little bit of, you know, things that we had to have when deciding the vehicle to buy. So let's go ahead and talk about how I acquired this vehicle. So my wife had been complaining that she didn't really like the 6th gen. The only thing that she really liked about it is that it was really loud, because it was, like I said, full bolts on basically, other than it wasn't on E85. It was on tuned for 93, but she was like, man, I don't really like it, you know. I really want to get a 6th gen like we had, because when I traded in our 6th gen for the Mustang that I have now, she was not happy. And then once it went into the shop and it was in there for so long, oh, she was really not happy. So I decided, babe, you know, if we can keep our payments around $400, $500 a month, we'll go ahead and get you one, because I don't want to spend no more than like $1,300, $1,400 a month towards our vehicles, because I pay $700 a month now for my Mustang, but you know, we keep between $400 or $500 a month. You know, we'll get a 6th gen. So I started looking. She's like, I really want one, and I said, all right, I'm gonna start looking for one. But just so you know, where we live around Louisville, nobody wants to wheel and deal. Nobody wants to it seems like nobody wants to sell a car. So everybody's like, no haggle pricing, and everybody's asking super high, and they're lowballing the shit out of you on trade-in. I know that's pretty much all dealers, but we got an amazing deal on this car. So anyways, I started looking. I told her, hey, you know, I'm serious about this. I'm going to start looking. And she says, okay, that's what I want, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I look and I found one. Originally she wanted just like the 5th gen. She wanted it to be black, blacked out, black rims, tinted, black emblem. She wanted a blacked out car. And so I started looking, and the cheapest one I could find that was black with black rims and the dual exhaust, because I told her if we were getting a car, you know, I spent almost $1,000 converting my last 6th gen to dual exhaust, versus, you know, I said I want the NPP exhaust because when we do headers and eventually on this car and, you know, X-pipe, delete the cats, I want to keep the NPP exhaust. I don't want to have to fuck with an axle vac system. I like the NPP exhaust. So, like I said, you know, it had to have NPP for me, and really her too, because she didn't like it when we had the single tips and just the non-painted valence. It's so ugly in my opinion, but her opinion too. But so we found one, but it was $27,000, and it was in Wyoming, I believe, which is super far from us because we live in basically Louisville, Kentucky, even though we live across the bridge in Indiana, New Albany, Indiana. But you know, for more people to know, we're in Louisville, Kentucky. So I live like 2 miles from Louisville. So, you know, we started shopping, and that was the only one I could find with NPP, NPP exhaust, and then blacked out. So, you know, I called them and said, hey, this is what's going on, this is where I'm at. And pretty much once they found out that I was out of state, they really didn't want to deal with me. They were like, well, you know, if you can come in, we'll talk. You know, they were just a really shitty dealer. And so I said, all right, well, that's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't find anything black that was like under $30,000. There was a 2SS with the red interior blacked out, and I really, really, really liked it. But it was like $31,000, and I knew that was going to put our payment above $500 a month. So I was like, I called them, and we managed to be able, they were like, we'll sell it for $29,800. And I was like, no, you know, I really need to be, you know, lower than that, somewhere around $27,000. That's where we really needed to be. But we weren't able to make it happen. So I said, babe, you know, this black probably isn't going to work. We're going to have to think of a new color. I personally wanted the Hyper Blue. There's a guy that was in the old car club I was in. He has it was a V6, but he had the Hyper Metallic Blue or whatever, and it was so beautiful. His car was beautiful. But she was like, I don't know if I want blue. You know, I really want black or gray like we had. Well, I came across this white one, the one that we have now, and I said, holy crap, you know, that's NPP exhaust, MagneRide. Yeah, it got a little bit higher mileage. This car's got close to 50,000 miles, or it does have 50,000 miles on it. I said, but it was black, it was white, and it was blacked out, kind of. It had the black rims, windows already tinted, and it had like these pinstripes down the side that we still don't know if we like or not. But I said, wow, you know, I like that vehicle. And I showed it to her, and she says, yeah, it's okay. It's not black. And I was like, well, no shit, it's not black. You know, like, I don't know what to tell you, babe. She was like, well, I guess I like it. And I was like, all right, well, fine, then I'm going to call them. So I called the dealership, and I said, hey, this is what's going on. This is where I'm at. And they kind of, I bought this from a Jeep Dodge Ram dealer in Savannah, Georgia. And so I was like, hey, this is what's going on. This is where I'm at. I never brought up my trade-in, but I said, you know, I like your old Camaro. Me and my wife were definitely interested in it. You all were asking 25. They were asking 25.8, I believe is what they were asking for, or 25.4. One of them, I can't really remember what they were asking for. And I said, hey, this is where we need to be. You know, I played dumb, tried to get the best deal I could. I said, I really need to be at like 23,000 on this car. And they're like, well, we just can't make that happen. You know, we gave more than that on trade-in. I says, all right, well, this is where I need to be. I said, I'll give you all 23,000 for it. I'll come down. I never brought up my trade-in yet. And they're like, well, you know, we just can't make a deal. That's not where we need to be. So I hung up, whatever. This was on a Friday. Still shopping, still looking around, trying to find something. I actually came across an automatic base, as base could get, A10 Mustang. And I showed it to her, but she don't want a Mustang. My wife does not like Mustangs. But, so I showed it to her, the Mustang. She's like, no, yada, yada. So I started looking, and there was just nothing that we really liked that had the options that we wanted. So we were just going to keep waiting until we found maybe the right car. Well, the following Tuesday morning, I get a phone call from the dealership, the Jeep Dodge Ram dealership in Savannah, with the car that I'm driving now. And they said, hey, you know, this is so-and-so. I believe her name was Rachel. Are you still interested? You know, we'd like to get a deal done. And I said, well, I told you all what it would take to get a deal done. And she says, well, let me talk. You know, we can come down to like 24,000. We know you're out of state. I said, how about this? How about you all come down? We'll meet in the middle at 23.5. I'll go ahead and submit a credit application. We'll do everything we need right now because we are 9 hours away. And she says, well, let me get back with you. So she got back with her sales manager, even though Rachel's not our salesman. Our salesman's name was Roy, and he is the coolest salesman I've ever met in my life. He wanted to get the deal done. I mean, granted, you know, most salesmen are about selling a car and shit, but this guy, he took money out of his own pocket. He paid, you know, the dealership didn't pay for gas in the car. You know, on used vehicles, they didn't do that. He went ahead and put the 93, filled the tank up for us. He bought us LED side markers. I mean, this guy wanted to sell a vehicle. So Roy down at the Northern Savannah Deep Dodge Ram dealership, he's an awesome guy. But anyways, back to the story. So she says, let me get back with you. They agreed on the 23.5. I just got $2,000 off their used price. I then bring up my trade-in. I said, hey, I submitted, now I already submitted my credit application in, mine and my wife's, and they got us approved. We got approved from like everybody. This, you know, it was super quick. They're like, oh, you're instantly approved, yada, yada, yada. And everything was great. And I mentioned my trade-in, and they offered me $98,000 for the 5th gen. Told them no, I really needed to be at 12.5, and they were like, there's absolutely no way that's gonna happen. Because we have to make money. We were already selling this car. They lied. I found out the salesman told me what they really gave for this trade-in, but they said that they gave $23,000 for the trade-in, and that they were making no money off, pretty much no money off of the car that I was buying, and that there's no way that they could give that for me. I said, well, we're gonna have to do something better than 9.8. So they asked for super detailed pictures. I mean, every inch of this car they wanted a picture of, and I sent it in. And I told them, like, if they wanted to get this deal done, I needed to get $11,000 for it, because I know that there's no problem. They will have no problem getting $13,000 to $14,000 for the 5th gen. I said I sent them screenshots of me selling it privately around here. I'd have been offered $12,000, $13,000 before, but I was firm on the 14.5. I would have been better off selling it outright, but I didn't. I didn't do that. So it is what it is. You know, but. So I said, hey, you know, I need to get $11,000. There's no ifs, ands, or about it. $11,000 is my final dollar. That's where I need to be. They said, all right, we'll give you $11,000 as long as it checks out. So I dropped it off, or I told my wife, hey, we literally are going to buy this car. And she's like, no, I'm not going. I'm not going to Savannah, Georgia. And I was like, that's too bad. Like, I've told them we're leaving on this day, which was a Saturday. They were going to come in on Easter just so that we were able to buy this vehicle. But he was like, no, she was like, no, I'm not going. I don't want to go that far. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to take a day off next week, because we're going. Like, I've already committed to this deal. And she was like, oh, I really don't want to go. Well, eventually she took a day off, and this was this past Wednesday. Took a day off. We picked the car up, and then we came home. And she loves this car. She's so happy with it. I'm so glad that she's happy with it, because I'm happy with it. I'm happy having both, and being fortunate enough to be 22 years old. I just turned 22 April 27th, and to be fortunate enough to have a brand new Camaro and a brand new Mustang. Granted, they're not new off the showroom, but the 2017 and the 2018, to be able to afford that. And I'm going to go over my insurance now and my new policy and what I'm paying now for both these vehicles. And I also have a daily driver. I have a little Honda that I drive back and forth to work. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for this car. I'm also going to get into some dealer scams, because the dealer did try to get me. I don't have time in this video to go over it, but I am going to go into how the dealership tried to screw me over. But I still managed to get the deal done and get where I needed to be on this 6th gen Camaro. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys, like I said, are excited as I am. If you guys don't mind, let me know in the comment section below which one you like more. Do you guys like the Camaro, or do you like my Mustang more? I'm really anxious to see what you guys like. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you all today. This is Richie. Stay tuned for this coming week when I get my Mustang back. But that's all I got today. See y'all later.